I've been wanting to make a video on the ugliest EDC gear that I have in my collection for years now. And I can already see the comments. Who cares what it looks like as long as it works and it's functional? Yes, I'm aware. This video is meant to be all in good fun. If you guys own this gear on the table and like it and it works for you and you don't think it's ugly, that's great. That's your opinion and you're entitled to it. But I'm also entitled to my opinion, and I think this stuff is but ugly. And that's part of the reason why I don't carry some of this stuff. Let's be honest, if you say who cares what it looks like as long as it works and it's functional, you can't tell me that you didn't buy your car, your truck, your house, or even the clothes that you're wearing, not caring about what it looks like. I mean, come on. So it definitely does play a part in your decision making. I used to be a car salesman. I sold cars for 11 years, and we had a saying in the car business: there's an ass for every seat. So what does that mean? That means you can have an avocado green Ford Pinto with purple velour seats and a wood grain dashboard, and I guarantee you somebody will walk on the lot and say, yeah, that's the car for me. His ass is for that seat. And that saying can basically transfer to almost anything in life. So that's why I'm saying this video is all in good fun. Just because I think it's ugly doesn't mean that you will think it's ugly. So now that that's out of the way, let's see what ugly stuff I have to show you guys. So let's start right here with the multi-tool pry bar. This is the Kershaw Downforce. I believe I paid about 15 bucks for the Downforce, and to be honest, I have no idea why. It's made of 3CR13 stainless steel with a black wash finish on it. And I say it's a multi-tool pry bar because it has a bottle opener on it, a Phillips screwdriver right there, this mini pry bar that can also act as a flathead screwdriver, and it has an attachment point right there for a key ring or a lanyard. But the most confusing thing about the Downforce is this orange glass-filled nylon cover that makes it extremely ugly. It sort of looks like an orange booger that somebody just spread right across the pry bar. And it really doesn't add any functionality to the tool at all, except for when I'm using this as a flathead screwdriver. You can see my thumb rests right there on this part. So if they would put something maybe from there to there and that's it, I think it would be a lot better. This piece from here to here really isn't needed. And as ugly as the Downforce is, this actually gets the most use out of any multi-tool pry bar that I own. I basically use the Downforce every single video that I make because I'm always using this part right here as a flathead screwdriver. Every single time I take my camera off or put my camera on the quick release plate on my tripod, this is what I'm using to unscrew or tighten up the lockdown on that quick release plate. It basically just lives on the side of my desk here, but carrying this thing, it's a no-go. Why? Because the Kershaw Downforce is fugly. That's why. And my next pick for the ugliest EDC gear in my collection is a knife. And this one I went back and forth on for a long time because I actually own some very ugly knives, but I think this one takes the cake and I had to put it here. It is the Spyderco Polywog. So you might be asking, why do I own the Polywog, especially if this costs about 185 bucks? And yeah, that's what I paid for it. Well, it's one reason and one reason only is because I was so intrigued by this open steel ball locking mechanism right there. It's just so cool, and I have nothing else like it in my collection. Now, let me just be clear. Just because I think the Polywog is ugly doesn't mean I don't like it. I like it because it's such a unique knife, especially with this open steel ball right there as a locking mechanism. And if you guys aren't familiar with that, let me just show you how it works. So there's a spring-loaded mechanism right there that's constantly pushing against that steel ball. And as I open the blade, you can see how it's just going to push forward and lock itself into place. Now, as ugly as the Polywog is, that's just a cool locking mechanism. This is the natural G10 version with the CPM M4 spear point blade. That is a 2.3 inch spear point blade with a flat grind and Spyderco's Spidey hole right there, so you can easily open it. It has washers in the pivot and a wired pocket clip that is reversible, so this is an ambidextrous knife. And like I said, I paid about $185 for this knife. It's very pricey for what it is, but mainly you're paying for that CPM M4 steel there. Even with its odd, ugly shape, it's just such a one-of-a-kind knife that I had to have this thing. But other than it being ugly, I do have one other gripe about the Polywog, and that has to do with this locking mechanism. As cool as this steel ball is right there, it doesn't flick open as easy as you would think. And that has a lot to do with this steel ball always making contact with the steel of the blade there. And because of that, I've never been able to Spidey flick the Polywog open, but I can flick it open with my thumb. And it feels really rough as you're opening it and closing it just because of the steel on steel with that ball right there on the blade. You can see what I'm talking about. So if I get in real close, it's just constantly making contact until it just pops into place. It's a small gripe, but I'm able to look past it just because of how cool that locking mechanism is. And I know this is a controversial pick because a lot of you guys like the looks of the Polywog. I just don't. And I think my next pick is going to be controversial too. And that happens to be a wallet. And that wallet is the Wolf Selection Flexi wallet. Guys, I don't know about this one. The first time I laid eyes on the Wolf Selection Flexi wallet, I just said to myself, that is the ugliest wallet I've ever seen. There's plenty of you guys out there that like the looks of this wallet, and that's fine. Once again, this is just my opinion, but the Flexi wallet just isn't my style at all. I don't know if it has to do with this stamped leather, this pattern right here on this leather, or this 1980s racing stripe elastic band that circles the wallet, or that giant silver logo right dead center. I don't know, all of it together maybe is just not my thing. To me, this is just an extremely gaudy looking wallet. For example, if Tony Montana was a real person and he carried a wallet, I believe he would carry this wallet. Why I make that connection in my head, I don't know. Like I said, it might be this 80s style racing stripe right there. I don't know. Now, Wolf Selection says this is made of genuine leather. I don't know if it's the grade of genuine leather or they're just trying to say it's made of real leather. I have no idea. I can't find where this leather is sourced from, but the inside of the wallet, this leather on the inside feels very nice. It can fit up to 14 cards and 30 bills, has RFID protection, and it's only 55 bucks. So I can see why a lot of you guys like this wallet for its functionality. I'm not arguing that at all. And it has a really cool feature tucked to the bottom of this wallet, and it's hard for me to get this out sometimes. All right, there we go. So this is a pen slash scalpel that fits right into this little pen sleeve right on the bottom of the wallet. And both sides look exactly the same. So half the time when I'm looking for the pen, I'm unscrewing it, and unfortunately, I find that scalpel. But I found a little trick here. So the cap on the scalpel side is flat, but on the pen side, you can see a little dot right there, dead center. And that's a nice, easy way to tell you that, yeah, you found the pen. So this is a neat idea. I really like the pen slash scalpel tool that's on the very bottom of the wallet. But everything else for me is a no-go. It's a pass. It's ugly. I don't like it. The $55 is a good price point as long as it's not made of actual genuine leather. If it's made of a top grain or full grain leather, then yeah, it's a decent price. And it's a perfect wallet to take with you bar hopping on a Friday night, fist pumping on the Jersey Shore. I kid. So that is the Wolf Selection Flexi wallet. And next, my last selection for the ugliest EDC gear that I have in my collection is a pen. And this is the Wooben Gecko E61. Now, I am not a pen snob by any means. I really like modern pens that mix technology with the pen, such as a light or things of that nature. So that's not the reason why I put the Wooben Gecko E61 here. I put it here just because it's just simply ugly, man. But not only that, I just didn't like this pen at all when I first used it. So the deal here with the E61 is you have a stylus right there, and if you pull that out, that can flip around, and now you have your ballpoint pen. Also, you have a 130 lumen flashlight right here that can flip out, and you can illuminate whatever you're writing. In theory, that's a good idea, but overall, it just doesn't deliver. A few years ago when I made a video on the E61, I demonstrated when you bend this light at a 90-degree angle all it does is cast shadows on the paper and becomes distracting. Plus, it feels very awkward to hold just because of the weird shape of the E61. And you can also rotate this light 270 degrees. And if you're looking for a pen light, it does get fairly bright, as you can see. But as a pen, the functionality just flat out sucks, in my opinion. Oh, and check this out. This is how you change out the ink cartridge on the inside. Just twist off the cap and look at this. That is literally the ink cartridge. I mean, what will that last you? A day? If you're in school writing all day? That is absolutely ridiculous. And in the box here, it comes with some replacement cartridges. So it can also be a inkless pen. It has a zirconium bead point, a ballpoint pen, and of course, the stylus. So here are the replacement bits right here. So there's the zirconium bead, and here is the inkless pen if you want to start carving on things. And guys, look, that's what I'm talking about. See how much ink is in those cartridges? It's just crazy. But now I'm getting into the functionality, and this isn't a review. The main thing about this is just, I think it's ugly. Oh, and it does have a pocket clip, but it does have one more feature. Check this out. So if you wanted to be really cool, you can turn that out and put this on the brim of your hat as so, and then turn this on as a headlamp. But check this out. Yep, don't ask me why. Like I said, this is a neat idea. I can see where Wooben was going with this. For me, it just doesn't work. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of my picks for the ugliest EDC items that I have in my collection? Do you agree with my picks or not? Also, I want to know what your choices are for your ugliest everyday carry items. Let me know in the comments below. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe and go.